My father had always been a proud man, commanding respect with every word. But he also had favorites. And in our family, that favoritism always leaned toward my younger brother, Ethan. I tried to accept it, tried to be supportive, but it stung every time. When Dad gathered the family in the living room, I thought it would be a normal Sunday dinner. Instead, he dropped a bomb. "Your brother deserves it," he said, his eyes focused on Ethan, who sat smiling, oblivious to the tension around him. It took me a moment to process. "Deserves what?" I asked cautiously. "The house," Dad said, gesturing to the estate we had grown up in. "The business. The accounts. All of it. I've signed the papers. Ethan will take over everything starting next month." The room went silent. My mother gasped, and Ethan looked stunned, though quickly replaced it with a smug grin. A month. That was all I had left before I would watch my entire inheritance, everything I had expected as the eldest son, slip into his hands. I didn't react. I didn't yell. Instead, I nodded politely, masking the storm of betrayal brewing inside me. "Of course, Dad," I said, my voice steady. "If that's what you think is best." Deep down, I knew Dad's decision wasn't about merit. Ethan had charisma, charm, and a way of making Dad feel proud. I had always been more practical, more cautious, qualities that Dad dismissed as boring or uninspiring. For the next month, I watched Ethan prepare to step into the role he had been handed. He polished the company image, flaunted himself in front of business partners, and made sure everyone knew Dad's decision was final. Meanwhile, I remained in the shadows, silent, patient, and calculating. I didn't want a confrontation. I wanted clarity. And I wanted proof that the world could see the truth about Ethan, the brother Dad adored. It all came sooner than expected. One evening, Ethan decided to throw a celebration at the estate, inviting business partners, family friends, and key staff. He wanted to flaunt his new status, to show that he was the rightful heir. I attended, smiling, keeping my distance, while Ethan basked in attention. Then it happened. A deal that Ethan had bragged about, one he claimed would expand the company internationally, began to unravel in front of everyone. Contracts had been falsified, details overlooked, and a critical investor realized they had been misled. The room went silent, whispers spreading like wildfire. Ethan tried to recover, but it was too late. His charm, his confidence, his deserved position, all exposed as hollow. I watched quietly, my face neutral, as he stammered, sweat forming on his brow. Dad's expression changed from pride to disbelief. Even Ethan's closest allies exchanged looks of confusion and concern. After the chaos, I approached Dad privately. "You said he deserves it," I said softly. "I hope you see why I was cautious. Leadership isn't about charm or luck. It's about preparation, judgment, and responsibility." Dad's eyes met mine, and for the first time in years, I saw hesitation, regret. I didn't realize," he admitted. The next morning, Ethan tried to regain control, but the damage was done. Deals were postponed, investors reconsidered, and his credibility suffered. Meanwhile, I quietly stepped in, helping to stabilize the company without drawing attention. My actions spoke louder than any words could. By the end of the month, Dad realized the truth. "You were right," he said, his voice heavy with guilt. I should have trusted your judgment all along." Ethan didn't apologize. He didn't even understand how quickly his world had shifted. But I didn't need him to. The house, the cash, and the company weren't just about inheritance. They were about responsibility, leadership, and character. And in the end, those weren't things that could be handed to someone undeserving. Sometimes, patience and quiet action are more powerful than shouting or confrontation. I didn't need to fight to prove myself. Ethan's mistakes did it for me. And Dad finally learned that favoritism doesn't create true leadership. Character does.